which shoe should you buy? Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. I get a ton of requests to compare these three shoes right here, so that is exactly what we're gonna do today. Here we have the New Balance Fresh Foam 1080 V13, which is not out yet, but it is coming very soon. We have the Saucony Triumph 21, and we have the Asics Gel Nimbus 25. So we're gonna break these down today, and we're not gonna go over all the specifics of every single shoe, but we're gonna talk about what's more breathable, what's more comfortable, what's more cushioned, what's more responsive, all of that sort of stuff to hopefully give you a better idea of how they feel in comparison to one another and which shoe might be right for you. Keep in mind, these shoes were sent to me by either Running Warehouse or the brands themselves. However, they're not going to see this video before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are always my own. The idea behind these three shoes here is to give you that max cushion comfort for your longer mileage and the ability to also take these for your daily training mileage as well, if that's what you want to do. They don't want to corner it into just being an easy day shoe, but they also don't want it to be too firm so that you expect it to be more of like a daily trainer type of vibe or a lower mileage shoe. Now, they all have that similar idea, but they execute it differently, which is fantastic for you who might not like one of these shoes and want to try a different one. Let's begin with the uppers here. It's funny because all of these uppers have the word knit in them, whether it's knit mesh or flat knit or some kind of knit, and none of these really scream knit to me. The New Balance 1080 V13 and the Nimbus 25 have the most characteristics of a mesh type of vibe. Very, very plush, even around that ankle collar, very plush. Now, the Triumph 21 has a very comfortable upper still, but it has the most knit-like characteristics in my opinion, and it also feels the thinnest in that forefoot, which gives it better breathability than the Nimbus 25 and the 1080 in my opinion. And we have a nice amount of cushioning around the ankle collar. I would argue that it's a little bit less than the Nimbus 25 and the 1080 V13, but it still will absolutely get the job done. All three of these shoes have a gusseted tongue and some form of a pull tab. The Nimbus 25 has a more stretchy type of pull tab. As you can see here, it's very thick. The Triumph 21 goes completely different on the other side of the spectrum with this tiny, not so stretchy, but tiny looking ponytail holder thing here. And the 1080 V13 doesn't technically have a pull tab, but it does have this kind of like cushiony gob right here that you can grab and I suppose utilize as a pull tab. When it comes to fit, all of these shoes are true to size for me. I wear a size 10.5. And I'd say width-wise, they all are pretty average as well. None of these really stand out to me as particularly narrow or particularly wide. But what I will say as a whole, the biggest, maybe heftiest feeling shoe would be the Nimbus 25 here. It's just a big shoe in general. After that, I'd say the 1080 V13 feels a little bit less clunky, and the Triumph 21 is certainly a little more nimble feeling and compact. So if that is something that matters to you, I would say just take that into consideration. None of these uppers cause me hot spots, blisters, or irritation. So we did great in terms of that. And I think if I had to pick one upper to rule them all here, I'd probably pick the Triumph 21's upper just because it is a little bit more breathable. And while the materials might not be as cush and as plush, it still feels really comfortable. And I don't know, sometimes less can be a little bit more. And I think that really does apply to a running shoe's upper. So let's talk about the midsoles of all these shoes. In the Nimbus 25, we have Flight Foam Blast Plus. In the Triumph 21, we have Power Run Plus. And in the 1080 V13, we have a new version of Fresh Foam X. Two of these shoes have very similar rides, and one has a very different ride. Can you guess what's what? The foam that feels the most different here is the Triumph 21's foam, and that is because this is a TPU based foam. You'll notice that the midsole is made up of little beads that are connected to each other, kind of like Boost and Adidas foam if you're familiar with that. But this cushioning doesn't have that sink in pillowy feel. It has more of a bounce and response to it. It has more energy, I'd say, than your traditional EVA based foams like the 1080 V13 has and the Nimbus 25 has. So if you're looking for a shoe that has plenty of cushioning, but you don't necessarily want to feel all that give that the EVA foams have, then the Triumph 21 is right up your alley. Now, what I will say about that on the flip side is that some of you really do like that comfortable, pillowy, marshmallowy feel that you get from a max cushion shoe. And you're not going to necessarily get that here in the Triumph 21, but you will get that in something like the 1080 V13 or the Nimbus 25. There is plenty of give in both shoes. You're gonna feel your foot sinking into that foam, a feeling that I personally really enjoy. But of course, there are some differences here. Now, what I said earlier about the Nimbus 25 being less nimble than the 1080 V13, it kind of still holds true to the midsole. To me, the Nimbus 25, while an amazing, very, very comfortable shoe, it feels very big, like I said before, and perhaps a little too soft. I wasn't really getting as much energy return out of the Nimbus 25 as I felt like I was out of the 1080 V13. The 1080 V13 is kind of the middle ground between the Triumph 21 and the Nimbus 25 because it still is extremely soft, much softer than the Triumph 21, but you are gonna get a little more energy return and nimbleness out of this shoe than you are gonna get out of the Nimbus 25. I think when it comes to what I prefer, I'd probably go with the 1080 V13's midsole just because it has the best of both worlds in a way. And then I'd probably pick, honestly, the Nimbus 25 because I love how comfortable and soft it is. And then for my third pick, which doesn't make it a bad shoe, I'd probably pick the Triumph 21 because I just like a shoe that's a little more cushy and plush. Quickly, just to go over the outsoles. I don't know if I can really do this that well. Yeah. They're all rock and rubber. Surprise, surprise. It all grips onto the pavement just fine. I've had all of these shoes in many different types of conditions and haven't really had an issue with any of them. So it's a tie on the outsole. The 1080 V13 will be $164.95. The Triumph 21 is $159.95. And the Asics Gel Nimbus 25 is $159.95. So the Triumph 21 and the Nimbus 25, same exact price. 1080 V13 is going to be a little bit more. I mean, they're all $5 more for this really doesn't make a difference to me personally, but if it does to you, you have two really great shoes here to choose from. Can't really go wrong with any of them. If you're interested in picking up any of the shoes right here, I will link them all down below in the description of this video. Just click those links, pick up your own pair. Keep in mind they are affiliate links with Running Warehouse. However, it doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos. It's gonna come down to what you like in an upper and what you like in a midsole. What I wish is that I could take the upper of the Triumph 21 and cut this upper off on the 1080 V13, stick the Triumph 21's upper on here, then I'd have like the best shoe ever. But since I can't do that, I guess I will pick the 1080 V13 because I do love this shoe as a whole. I think it is the best of both worlds when it comes to a little bit of energy, a little bit of cush. The weather's getting a little bit nicer. You're gonna be wanting to run longer. If you're marathon training, you probably have a shoe already, but if you don't and you're looking for a very long run shoe, because we're getting up there, guys, in the mileage, I would highly suggest taking a look at one of the three shoes here. Anyways, I hope that this video that is set up really poorly will help you a little bit to determine what max cushion shoe is best for you. If this is a video or a kind of video that you enjoy, please let me know in the comments down below. And of course, also, if you have tried Nimbus 25 or the Triumph 21, or you plan to try the 1080 V13, let me know in the comments down below as well. I love to hear about what you guys are running in or plan to run in the future. Well, everyone, that concludes this which shoe should you buy video. That is a tongue twister. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe when you're done with all that. Hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a brand spanking new video. Now the deciding question is, what shoe is the best looking of the three? And I don't think any of them are particularly gorgeous looking. Let's probably give it to the Triumph 21. I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time. behind the scenes of me taking photos of shoes and b-roll of shoes outside is this one eating grass and misbehaving with her ball while I do it. Gotta love being a dog parent.